Good afternoon, how are you guys? Yes.
What you're filming for, please?
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself for
Yeah,
me, please?
PC3412 Gary Glue from Guildford Police Station.
No worries. And yourself, sir?
Hughes 40910.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, can I ask what you're filming for, please?
Yep, because I can.
Okay, but what specifically are you filming for?
I'm filming the police station.
Okay.
Is it good? You get some good footage?
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, I didn't actually realise how big this station was.
Yeah, it's probably the only one left, I reckon.
Yeah, and it's a massive station. Was
Yeah.
it built in the 60s?
It looks like it was built.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm going off for the actual tower, and it's like it's got to be a 60s building. It's just a concrete building, nothing
Beautiful,
more.
isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely.
It was built before our time, I think.
Yeah.
But obviously we're just asking because obviously terrorism, etc. Times of, you know.
Okay,
we
so
need to find out.
do you?
Can I ask your name and address?
I will decline on that, sir.
Okay, can I ask why?
Because I've committed no crime and I've broken no law and I don't have to give my name.
Fine. All I'm going to say is obviously this is a.
The interaction begins calmly outside a large police station, with casual greetings exchanged. The filmer explains he's simply capturing footage of the station, impressed by its massive size and concrete design. There's no tension at this point, just curiosity and casual conversation about the building's history and structure.
Yep,
busy part of
yep.
the road.
And
Open
as you can see where that actual yellow bit is, okay, no cars can come through this bit. That's why I've made sure that I'm tucked out the way. I won't get in the way of any vehicles, okay, because they have to get in and out.
When they get in and out, and obviously coming down here as well. And obviously bearing in mind you are going to be filming potentially people's personal vehicles as well. So.
Okay, well if they get caught in it, okay,
Yeah.
I've committed no crime by that. Okay. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, please?
I can only say no. can't
No,
I?
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay. At this moment in time, and this is for yourself as well. At this moment in time, there's a big divide. Okay, and there's so much stuff going on that people believe that there's a big divide between the police and the public at this moment in time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What are your views on that? Do you believe that there is or there isn't?
A divide of in what sense?
Where they're not coming together. They're not coming together. It's like if you go back in time, we had home beat officers, we had all of that were on the street.
Officers politely ask why filming is taking place. The filmer clearly states he's documenting the station and hasn't realized how large it actually is. He emphasizes that he's standing out of the way, not blocking traffic, and being mindful of vehicles entering and exiting the premises.
And it's not down to you as individuals, but by the way that stuff has been stripped away, right, and police stations shut and everything now done on the phone, and we're losing all the interaction of face-to-face communication with officers. And this is the thing. So from that, people believe that the police are basically putting a wall up and it's creating a divide because of that separation.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
In relation to that point there, how do you think coming into a police station's grounds, filming them, and presumably for YouTube, is it?
No, it's for my own personal
For your own
use.
personal use. If we were just having a chat, it'd be different, wouldn't it? But you've got a camera at our faces, and I'm not just saying that to you personally, but the footage has been used at police officers, when they just come have a chat with people.
Okay.
And then they're having cameras thrust in their face.
Okay. Well, first of all, okay, have you turned your camera on?
Of course.
Okay, right. It's in your policy, and you should have told me that you had your camera on.
That's why it's
Okay.
got a big
Yep.
sticker on it.
Yep. I'm dyslexic, sir.
The conversation shifts towards safety concerns, including terrorism and public awareness. Officers explain why they need to ask questions when someone films a police facility. The filmer listens, but also reinforces that he's committed no crime and is within his legal rights.
Okay.
So, and that's the thing. It makes no difference whether or not you got a sticker.
Oh, right.
Okay, it's in your policy that you should say that. So that is the same thing. You film us, and there's no reason why, as a member of the public, that I can't film it and document it.
No, you...
And that is the thing. So to say about cameras, there's cameras everywhere we go.
No, but to address your point about you saying there's a divide between the public and the police. So if you come into a police station compound and you start filming vehicles, knowing full well the police are going to come have a chat with you.
And that's fine. I welcome
Of
that.
course, fine, but you asked the question.
Yep.
So the question back to you: how do you think this is having a joined up with the community if the police?
Well, before I answer that,
Of course.
I would still like you to answer the question that I asked first.
Which was,
Okay, about the divide between the public.
yeah, I think this doesn't help.
Okay, what, a camera? A camera doesn't
I
help.
think having this sort of interaction doesn't help.
How do you work that out, sir?
Well, because we're going to have a very sterile conversation.
Well, no, I think we're having quite a nice civil conversation. I
I would
do.
rather have a conversation with you without having that
When asked to identify himself, the filmer politely declines, explaining that he hasn't broken any law and therefore isn't required to provide his name. He remains calm, respectful, and firm, keeping the discussion focused on rights rather than confrontation.
I'm happy if you turn that off. I'm happy to turn this off.
Well, just remember, okay, this camera is here, okay, the same as that, okay, that it's for everyone's protection and safety, okay, first and foremost, right?
And that's absolutely fine. You're allowed to do it. You're in a public place, etc.
Yeah,
etc.
and this is the thing. So it can't be, oh, we turn off the camera and then the conversation stays as civil as what it is. As you can see, I'm nice and chilled, I'm nice and relaxed, and this is how it should be. And I welcome any interaction from any officer. I've engaged with inspectors, I've engaged with sergeants, and this is the thing. It's about seeing, because you know yourself, there aren't many officers now that you see completely walking the streets. There's not.
No, there isn't.
All right, and this is the thing.
But it's different times now. These
yeah,
days.
but this is the thing. The only place that you can really get a large amount of officers now is at a police station, and the easiest way to actually do it is to come down and to actually speak.
But do you not think that pointing a camera at me, and vice versa, obviously me pointing a camera at you, you're going to get a different reaction? I would rather have a...
Officers raise concerns about personal vehicles possibly being recorded. The filmer responds that incidental filming of vehicles in public space isn't illegal. He reassures them that there's no malicious intent and that everything is being done lawfully.
Face-to-face conversation with you rather than having a camera shoved in my face.
Well, the camera's not shoved in your face. There's quite a difference between the camera.
Pointed at me. I would rather just talk to you rather than having a camera.
Yeah, but then what you should remember is don't focus on the camera. We're having a conversation. I'm asking you some questions. Yeah, but what you got to remember is I talk to a lot of officers,
of course you do.
and I can't remember every single bit of information.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. This is here so I don't forget what's being said. I don't want to quote somebody wrongly or anything like that when I go through it. And this is the whole point of doing this. Like, you take yourself, there's two of you here, and what you both say to me, I can't remember exactly what you said and what you've said, and that's why I'm able to go back, look at the photo, and then I can go, right, yeah, I remember that's what he said, and that's why he was concerned about this. And that's the whole thing. It's about me being able to actually go back and look at stuff the same way that you guys would.
In answer to your question,
a deeper discussion begins about the perceived divide between police and the public. The filmer explains that reduced funding, fewer foot patrols, and station closures have weakened face-to-face interactions, making policing feel distant compared to the past.
that you posed to us, I think it's all to do with government funding. Times are different now these days. You're not going to get your local beat bobby, or it doesn't happen as much as it used to back many, many years ago. I think that, like I said, times have changed. The areas that we cover are so vast now that because we have to drive, basically, we have to be in vehicles rather than on foot because of the areas that we cover. I think a lot of it is to do with government funding, but you'd have to speak to your local MP for that.
No, and I think that's fair enough. What about yourself, sir?
I think I've already just explained that. If I just ask you to come out of the way, because that car's there, isn't it?
So I'll just go past there because I know people come in and out of that bit.
Have you got another question for us?
Yes. The other question that I've got, when you look at it as a whole, for the way that
officers question whether filming police stations helps community relations. One officer expresses discomfort having a camera pointed at him. The filmer counters by explaining that cameras protect everyone and ensure accuracy, accountability, and transparency for both sides.
policing is looked at nowadays, do you feel that where people get burgled and sometimes the police don't turn up because of different things that are going on and so on, but then if somebody then done something at a business or so on, that the businesses get responded to straight away before people being burgled?
You're asking the wrong person for that one. That's a deployment issue, and you'd have to speak to somebody who does deployment.
Okay. And yourself, sir?
It's all based on risk. So I don't think we deploy any quicker or slower to any others, but the alarms are different. So business alarms are generally what we call a priority one. So if there is a theft or burglary in process, we will go in the first instance as quickly as we can to see if we can detain offenders. Burglaries, unfortunately, by the time that people discover burglaries, unless it's been caught at a time, are usually what we call a grade 2. So, we wait up, and the likelihood is those people have left.
The filmer explains he records so conversations aren't misquoted or forgotten. Just like officers use body cameras, he uses his camera to document interactions fairly. He stresses that the conversation remains calm, civil, and respectful despite the presence of cameras.
So we have to judge, is it still proportionate to go on blue lights and put members of the public at risk to go to a job that someone's probably already left? If everyone's safe and well, and unfortunately if it's just property that's been taken, then obviously there's a lower risk to the public of harm, and we can do that investigation in slow time. So I think if it just seems like we're going to businesses on blue lights quicker than we are to burglaries, it's probably that there are likely to be offenders still there.
Okay. No, that's cool, that's perfect. No, those are the only questions that I got for you guys, apart from one last one. And I know that this can cause a really, really mixed reaction. Now, I know you guys are with Surrey, and we know how many different police forces there are out there. And the only reason why I sort of brought the camera back round to you is because where you were answering the questions first out of the two of you. We're inside of Surrey. If you seen an officer break the law or so on and so forth, would you report them to their superior?
The discussion moves to burglary response times versus business alarms. Officers explain deployment priorities, risk assessment, and why business alarms are often treated as higher priority. It's a rare moment of open explanation about real policing challenges.
Of course I would.
Okay. And do you feel that there's any corruption with inside of Surrey?
No.
Okay. And yourself, sir?
Yeah, it forms part of our code of ethics. So honesty and integrity is one of them. So we're just normal people. So if someone else is doing something illegal, whether they're in the job or not, it's your duty to report that.
And do you believe that there's any corruption with inside the
I've
force?
never seen or experienced it in the time that I've been in.
Okay. Perfect. That's cool. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. Gentlemen, can I say thank you very much for your time? I really appreciate it. Most of all, be safe out there, okay, and do take care while you are out there.
You too.
Okay, no worries, gents. Okay, have a lovely afternoon. Take it easy. Right, so guys, you can see from that.
The interaction ends positively. Questions about integrity, corruption, and reporting misconduct are answered professionally. Both sides thank each other for the conversation, ending on mutual respect, safety wishes, and a calm conclusion that shows how civil dialogue is still possible.